Hello, hello, Team Beautifully Polished. Happy Wednesday. It is 12 o'clock noon. Hopefully, some of you guys are on your lunch hour. I am here today to talk to you guys about consistency. So, I'm going to give people a second to hop on, and then I am going to go ahead and get started because I think this is a huge, important piece of our business and how we're doing our business. I was going to do this from outside and decided that it got cloudy. The sun is not out consistently. Okay, so let's talk about consistency. We've all heard this word over and over. It's not any new word that we've heard it our whole lives, right? So how important is consistency? We've heard it. If you want to lose weight, you have to be consistent and eat and exercise and eat right. If you want to get good grades, you must consistently do your homework and study, right? If you want to run a race, you have to consistently run. If you want nice gardens, you have to consistently weed them. We want to have good relationships with people, you have to consistently work at them. So there's so many of areas of our lives that consistency really is just crucial. So it's something we all deal with on a daily basis. So it's not what's done once in a while. I like this quote. It's not done once in a while that shapes our lives. It's what we do consistently. All right, so let's talk about the consistency with your business. So there's kind of different parts of your business. I look at our business in three parts. I look at it with customers, nail bars, and stylists. So first, we're going to start with our customers. It takes about 6 to 8 touches to get a person to respond to you, right? So first, in order to get someone to talk to you, you have to be consistent about how many people you're talking to about the business. If you're having a hard time getting new customers, I want you to think about how often you're consistently talking about it, all right? So if you're holding weekly nail bars, you're consistently talking to people about the business. So that you're doing on a regular basis. But if you're not doing weekly nail bars or events, you may not be out there consistently seeing people. So that means you need to find those people to talk to tell about our product, to tell about our business, to talk about nail bars. So obviously, it's easier to be consistent when you are holding a online nail bar or in-person nail bar or some type of event. It's much easier to be consistent. And it's not impossible if you don't do that. You just have to be more diligent and make more of an effort to consistently get out there and talk to people. We have a video on Color 10, which is a great way to talk to 10 people a week. Our stylist in the spotlight this week is Hillary Delisic. I hope I said that right, Hillary. I know I have not posted her bio. I will. She unfortunately has been in the hospital this week. And so, I was unable to get her bio from her, and I will get it once she's better. But she was picked because the spotlight of the week is picked to go along with our training for the week. And she is a very consistent stylist. She not only does enhanced commissioner, hits at least enhanced commission up every single month, but because she's very consistent. So she had set a challenge for herself last month to get 30 Tuesdays out to people, either on them or mail them to them. And she did it. And by last week, she already had sent out or put on 15 to people. So she is consistently talking to people, which is more than likely why she consistently has enhanced commission on up for her monthly sales. So you will hear about Hillary hopefully in the next few days when she's feeling better. So how can we be consistent with our customers? Well, of course, phone calls, right? Phone calls, messages, texts regularly are important, especially after an event. If you do an event, you need to be consistently following up with those people right after the event. You need to send out emails on a regular basis telling your customers about new products. You need to post in your VIP groups on a regular basis. Again, if you're hopping in your VIP group, once a month, that's not real consistent. They're probably not going to come to you very often because they don't really know when to count on you. So make sure you are doing it consistently, so they know when to find you, where to find you, and all that jazz. So the more regular you do things, the more they're going to start to see that, and they're going to look for you. So not only are they looking for you, but you're telling your customers that A, you're working, and B, you're reliable and you follow through. So let's talk about reliability. That's a huge part of being consistent. Doing what you say if you say you're going to do it. That's a real important thing. So if you say you're holding a contest, then hold it. If you say you're going to go live, then go live. If you think of parenting, I think of parenting a lot because, boy, that's one place we can easily not be consistent, right? If you think about parenting, you tell your kid you can't eat candy for breakfast. And then one day you let them eat candy, then the next day you don't let them. And you go back and forth. They're little, they don't get it. The inconsistency confuses them that sometimes they can do it, sometimes they can't. So of course they're going to try to do it every single time. And it also, they start to, that trust in you and what you say and do starts to lack because they don't know what to believe. Well, the same is true with your business. If you do, let's say in your VIP group, a monthly nail fee drawing, but once in a while you go in and pick a winner, maybe you did in February, but you forgot in March and April, but maybe you will in May. Why would they want to post pictures and continue to put things in there? You're telling them that your business is not that important to you, and you're showing them that you're unreliable. So the key is whatever you tell them, do it and follow through. I do a Thirsty Thursday live in my business page, and this is a key example of not being consistent. I did it for months, every Thursday, not at a set time, but just whenever I got in there. And I was getting a good group of people that would say, oh, I'm looking forward, or, oh, I can't wait to hear, or I watch your posts. I was getting a good following. Then all of a sudden, for some reason, I stopped. I can't tell you why. It was like the 500-pound phone. I knew I had to do it. And by the time I got around to doing it, it was the end of the day. I looked tired and weary. And for whatever reason, I kept finding excuses in my own head. It was the most bizarre thing. So about 4 weeks, I didn't do it. So when I went back and started doing it, I opened with my thing that I learned for that week is, why does that happen? Why do you pick something that you just can't do? Like looking at your vitamins on the counter, you have to take them, but you don't. But that inconsistency for just those 4 weeks, I'm finding now people aren't watching them. I'm not getting as much interaction and feedback, all because I stopped that for 4 weeks. So now I have to build that back up again. I have to build my consistency and reliability back up with the people that were starting to follow. So as long as it takes to build it up, you can lose it pretty quick. So, that's a real important thing, to stay consistent and be reliable. As a parent, I made a lot of mistakes, but there's one thing that I know I did really, really well as a parent, and that was picking a consequence that I knew I could follow up on and be consistent. So, if my kids were acting out and I said, or if you don't clean up your room, you don't get to go to your friend's house. I had already thought through, okay, do I want them at that friend's house? Do I need that time so I can do something? I never gave them a consequence that I knew I wouldn't follow up on. So it wasn't a threat, it was true. So they knew over time, if I was given a consequence, it would happen. Where if I gave a consequence that sometimes I followed through on and sometimes I didn't, why would they listen to me? They would hope that that time is the time that I don't follow through on. The one that I always laugh at was so many people, I had friends that would always give the, well, if you do that, Santa's watching. If you do that, Santa's not going to come. And I always just giggled at that one because I thought, really? How many houses does Santa not come to? And what is your kid going to have to do to not have Santa come? So I always thought that was one that isn't going to happen, so don't do it. So be consistent with what you say and what you offer, and follow through on what you offer. If I tell my customers I have a birthday club, then I'm going to follow through on that. So with this said, whatever you are telling your customers, whatever you're offering or not offering, or if you do a newsletter or if you do games, make sure that you are looking to be able to follow through. Okay. So when I promise something, like for example, these Wednesday calls, or trainings, I think it's like the 11th week of doing these. So before I made the commitment to the team, I looked at my calendar, because every single Wednesday at 12 o'clock is a huge commitment, huge, to know that I need to be home. I need to be prepared every single week at the same time. And there was one time, and there will be, I'm sure, a few more that I can't do it. But then it means I need to come up with the video ahead of time. I need to record it, and I need to get it out on our page. But just think, what would you think of me if sometimes I hopped in there and sometimes I didn't when I'm supposed to be there every Wednesday? You lose faith in me, I become unreliable and flaky, and then I'm damaging my reputation. So consistency is a big thing of building your reputation. You're building a reputation with your customers based on the actions that you take and how reliable you are. Another good quote that I like is, consistency isn't rocket science, it's a commitment. So it doesn't take, big brains to be consistent, but you've got to figure out what works for you and what you can follow through on. So let's talk about your reputation. This is a relationship business, you guys, so your reputation is key. You want to have a good reputation with your customers, your hostesses, and your stylists, because we want them to come to us, and we want them to refer us to other people. Referrals are key in our business. So if you have a good reputation with these different groups of people, they're more than likely going to pass your name on. If your customers know you check in on them, you respond quickly, you take care of issues, they're going to refer you to their friends. Oh my gosh, go to Debbie. She has all these great programs in place. She does this, she does that. Of course, that's what I want. And so I'm going to be consistent with my customers, so they would hopefully pass my name on. Think about if you were to hold a nail bar, and two people responded back at the nail bar, and one person you got back with, she had a problem with their nails, you replaced her nails, and you said, you apologized. The other person, you just got lazy and didn't respond back to that person. Well, more than likely they're friends, and they are going to talk, right? If they talk, they're going to find out how inconsistent you were and how you responded to one and not the other. And they're going to take a couple customers off and potentially lose 2 customers. So again, what you do with one, do with the next. So be consistent and accountable to your customers. So the next part I want to talk about in your business is nail bars. So doing nail bars consistently has tons of benefits to your business. Nail bars are what keeps your business afloat. I don't care if they're online, if they're in person, whatever they are, that's what keeps your business going, right? It gets you in front of new customers all the time. It gets you your next nail bar. It gets you your next event. That is the main part of our business. So it's potentially also, the more people you talk to at nail bars, it's going to get your new stylist. So by doing nail bars consistently, you are going to get more confident with them, right? You're going to know what to say, what not to say. You learn what works for you. You learn what's a flop and you're never going to do again, which I know every nail bar is different because it's different people. So there's always going to be things that come up. But you gain so much more confidence. And the more confidence you have, the better your presentation is, the easier the language comes from you. We talk about handling objections. All of that just becomes so much more natural because you're consistently doing nail bars and practicing these skills. So doing them consistently is one key. And then you consistently need to get on the phone and follow up with people to even book the nail bars. So doing them consistently is one thing, but then consistently acting to get those nail bars is another important part. You're not going to get nail bars if you're not reaching out to people. So getting on the phone, talking to different people, following up from events. Again, that is how working your business consistently is going to get you the next nail bar. Then within nail bars, it's important to be consistent. So let's say you do a nail bar with one group of friends and you offer, the buy 3, get 1 free. Well, of course, if her friend books a party, you better offer the buy 3, get 1 at her party too. What if at the one party you offer, oh my gosh, anybody who books a party today gets this, and you offer a $20 prize. Her friend books a party, and then at her party, you offer a $2 prize. Be consistent, especially when it comes to groups of friends. If you want to try something new, make sure that is known to the hostess, or you start it with a new group. But if you're doing some type of special, be consistent unless it's something announced that, hey, this is only at this nail bar because, but be consistent, because again, they're going to see how reliable you are. They're going to watch what you're doing. And if you did something at Jenny's nail bar, then they're going to want to see it at their nail bar. So talk to them about things if you plan on changing anything. So through all this, I don't know if you notice the pattern of consistency. Everything we do about our business is about being consistent. So now let's talk about stylists. Being consistent with stylists, again, is key. So we have two parts, again, with stylists. One is, in order to get a new stylist, you have to consistently be sharing the business. If you are only talking about our product, you probably aren't going to get a new stylist. They need to hear about the business. You need to offer the business. So it takes about the average of 1 in 10 people you talk to that might be interested. So if you're talking to one person a month, you probably are not consistently talking to enough people if you are trying to sign up a new stylist. All right. You need to consistently talk about, offer them the business. So then not only that, but you need to consistently follow up. It's one thing to just say, hey, have you thought about doing this before? And then if you drop it and you don't follow through, well, that's not enough for them. You need to send them a text, send them a message. Hey, I'd love to talk to you about, what we talked about the nail bar last night. I think you'd be really great at this business. Send them information. You consistently need to follow up with them after bringing up the business. So then once you get a stylist, of course, you need to be consistent with them. Don't sign up a stylist and never talk to them again. We get paid commission on people we sign up for a reason. It's kind of like your paycheck. You are working with that person and you're making money from that person. So, you don't sign a person up and never talk to them again. You need to be consistent with the new stylist that you have. So you're checking in with them regularly. You're talking about the positive and negative of their business. You're giving them helpful hints. You're offering them suggestions. But whatever you say to them, follow through. Whatever you say to a hostess, follow through. So I can't tell you enough, and I can't emphasize enough how important it is to pick what you want to do and be consistent, and then act on that consistency and follow through. So to wrap up, I want to give you guys a challenge. So your challenge for today is I want you to think about the 3 areas of your business. I want you to think about customers, nail bars, and stylists. All right? I want you to write down 2 things in each of those areas that you feel you are really consistent with. All right? 2 things in each area that you are doing really well in each of those areas. Then I want you to write down 1 more in each area that you would like to improve or start that maybe you've never done before. So I want you to think about that. Don't just write something down on a whim, and don't go, oh my gosh, well, I want to start 10 new things with my customers. The more you write down, the least likely that's going to happen. Because if I know you get all excited, you want to try 5 new things at once. If you try 5 new things at once, you will probably quit all of them. But if you pick 1 new thing and you do it well, you are more likely to be consistent. Kind of like with friendships, you pick a few friendships that you can really pour your heart into, rather than giving teeny bits of yourself to hundreds of people. It's so many things in life. Let's look at the quality over the quantity, okay? So I want you to look at 1 thing in each area of what you can come up with that you will consistently work on, and give yourself the next month to build that habit of doing it over and over and over. All right? So I'm going to end with a great quote that I liked, which is, success isn't about greatness, it's about consistency. Consistent work leads to success, and then greatness will come. All right? So I challenge you guys to come up with your new thing. If you want to post it underneath the live of sharing, oh, there's my dog's tail, sharing how you are going to add something new in each of those areas of your life. I would love to see what other people are doing and what you guys are going to enter into your business. So have a great day, and thank you for tuning in.